Pete Hegseth Reinstates ban on new transgender service members after 4-year pause under Joe Biden. The Pentagon revived Donald Trump's controversial first-term policy amid a wave of actions targeting the LGBTQ+ community. The Department of Defense has reintroduced a ban on new transgender service members in the United States military, effective immediately. President Donald Trump, 78, previously directed the Pentagon to make a plan for reviving his controversial first-term policy, 4 years after President Joe Biden squashed it. On February 7, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, 44, issued an internal memo to senior Pentagon leaders that revealed the terms of his trans-military restrictions, which came to light on Monday, February 10. In the memo, Hegseth calls for the Pentagon to stop people with a history of gender dysphoria from enlisting in or re-entering the armed forces. Hegseth also ordered the cancellation of all scheduled or unscheduled medical procedures related to troops' gender transitions. Though the Defense Secretary did not immediately call for the expulsion of all trans service members, he delegated authority to one of his undersecretaries to provide additional policy and implementation guidance about their continued service, which could lead to a more exhaustive ban down the line. Despite the new restrictions, Hegseth acknowledged that trans service members have volunteered to serve our country and said they should be treated with dignity and respect. In January, Trump signed a slate of executive orders relating to the U.S. Armed Forces that paved the way for Hegseth's new actions. In addition to calling for a ban on transgender service members, Trump signed orders that removed diversity, equity, and inclusion programs from the military and reinstated service members who were discharged for refusing to get the COVID-19 vaccine in the height of the pandemic. A White House document previewing Trump's executive actions, which was obtained by the New York Post, blamed concerns about transgender soldiers' mental and physical readiness as a primary reason for potentially excluding thousands of people from military service. Unit cohesion requires high levels of integrity and stability among service members, the document said, adding that there is no room for anything less than resilience, strength, and the ability to withstand extraordinary physical demands. Individuals who are unable to meet these requirements are unable to serve in the military. This has been the case for decades, the document continued. As Biden's administration pointed out when he overturned exclusionary practices in 2021, transgender service members have qualified for the military by meeting the same standards as everyone else. The United States Armed Forces are in the business of defending our fellow citizens from our enemies, foreign and domestic, said Biden's Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin at the time.
I believe we accomplish that mission more effectively when we represent all our fellow citizens. Austin continued, I also believe we should avail ourselves of the best possible talent in our population, regardless of gender identity. We would be rendering ourselves less fit to the task if we excluded from our ranks people who meet our standards and who have the skills and the devotion to serve in uniform. In 2017, Trump first announced the ban that prohibited transgender people from serving in any capacity in the military. After consultation with my generals and military experts, please be advised that the United States government will not accept or allow transgender individuals to serve in any capacity in the U.S. military, Trump wrote on July 26, 2017, in a series of tweets that reportedly caught the Pentagon off guard. He continued, Our military must be focused on decisive and overwhelming victory, and cannot be burdened with the tremendous medical costs and disruption that transgender in the military would entail. A study commissioned by President Barack Obama's Secretary of Defense, which was released a year before the 2017 ban, did not support Trump's logic, though, instead finding that transition-related healthcare costs would make up an unnoticeable fraction of the Pentagon's overall healthcare budget. Based on the limited research available, the same study also suggested that embracing transgender service members would not have an impact on unit cohesion, operational effectiveness, or readiness. The study instead pointed to commanders from foreign militaries, who said that their pro-transgender policies benefited the entire force by promoting inclusion and diversity. Trump's initial 2017 ban was met with intense legal backlash, as well as outrage and disappointment from transgender members of the military. For the president to deny an able-bodied, fully qualified person the inherent right to raise their right hand and serve their country, potentially giving their own life for our freedoms, is doing this country an injustice. Air Force Staff Sergeant Logan Ireland told People in 2017. On Monday, John Biden on 20, the first day of Trump's second term, Trump also signed an executive order proclaiming that there would be only two sexes, male and female, recognized by the U.S. government. The order was another effort to repeal Biden-era policies, like the former president's 2022 move to allow citizens to select X as a gender-neutral marker on their passports.